Hello, welcome back to my channel. My name is Stacy, and for those of you that are new here, I do videos every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. I like to discuss kind of the information, the brand behind the products is really what I try to focus on here on this channel. So let's get started. We're going to talk about clean makeup and focus on the brand Bare Minerals. So mostly what I have today is the mineral makeup. I do have the foundation stick, and I will be inserting swatches when I went to Ulta the other day, swatches of the pressed formulas. So that will be towards the end of the video. Okay, so it can kind of be said that Bare Essentials or Bare Minerals, Bare Essentials is what they used to be called. Bare Minerals was kind of the original like clean brand. They were launched in 1995 by Leslie Blodgett. And what I'm going to do, I'm just going to get started as I'm talking here. And this compact that I have says Bare Essentials, so it's from a while ago, but it still works. So what I'm going to do is put on, I'm going to use the mineral veil. I'm going to zoom you in and use the mineral veil as just kind of the base for my eyeshadow. And their signature kind of thing with all of their mineral products are you just put a little bit, whoops, too much. Put a little bit in your lid and then swirl with the brush until the product is all into the brush. Swirl, 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 and then tap off excess, and then you apply it. Okay, so the original products were all loose minerals, the powder form, and it was to avoid any chemical fillers and binders. So I'm just going to do that again. The brand currently is owned by Shiseido. It was purchased in 2010 for a whopping $1.7 billion. Oof. And the brand now does include liquid foundation and pressed powder formulas. The liquid foundation was launched in February of 2014. Okay, so there we have kind of a nice base on. I don't have any other primers or anything like that on my face or on my lids, just moisturizer on my face. Okay, so they are talc, fillers, binders, and paraben free. And the important thing is I didn't really think too much about this. Okay, the next step I'm gonna go with kind of a gray feel today for the eyes, but I am going to swatch some of the other colors that I do have here. But I'm going to put Kindness, and this is what color, actually, yeah, I'm going to swatch everything at the end. So I'm going to put Kindness on, just kind of over on my actual eyelid and up into the crease brush. And I am using Bare Mineral brushes. And so the reason that it's important, I just recently kind of thought about the talc thing. I was watching some YouTube videos and someone had commented, you know, to look into clean beauty and talc being in the products. And I was interested because I didn't really think about it. I kind of had remembered something with the baby powder, but I didn't really know too much about it. So I thought, okay, I'm going to, you know, research what that's all about. And let's see. This might be too loose of a brush. Let's see. Okay, so I want a little more pigmentation. So this is a pretty loose brush. So I'm going to change to a more compact brush and try that. Okay, so the reason why it is so important, and there is a caveat to this. Okay, so and according to the American Cancer Society, and I will link that down below, this article on their website, it has more information on it in detail. If talc is in the natural form, some talc does contain asbestos, which is known to cause cancer. So that's not good, of course. In 1976, the Cosmetic, Toiletry, and Fragrance Association issued a voluntarily guideline stating that all talc used in cosmetics in the US should be free from detectable amounts of asbestos, according to their standards. And the reason why it's a kind of a complicated issue, it's clear that talc that has asbestos is generally accepted as cancer causing. But where it becomes a little bit more gray is there is a thing as asbestos-free talc. And it's less clear if that causes cancer or not. The studies on it have been mixed. So that's kind of why it's not quite as black and white. So I thought that that was interesting, but I think it is important and something to kind of look into to see, you know, which brands have talc in it, and just kind of be aware of all of this information. It's like, you know, at least for me personally, I'm becoming more aware of brands and the being cruelty free or not. And so I'm just kind of adding this to my list of things that I want to look into and be aware of. So next I'm going to take Praise, and this is kind of like a gunmetal gray. And let's see. Again, I'm going to use more of a denser brush. Let's talk a little bit about the history of bare minerals. I'm just kind of tapping this on. And as you can see, when you apply the eye products with a brush, you're going to get a more natural look. You know, it's not going to be a high pigmented color. I think that if you want to pack it on, you could get more of a color. See, like, okay, so there, I didn't do the swirl in the lid. And so that's where you can get, if you really want more of a pigment, you can do that instead of what they recommend, you know, as the swirl, tap, and then put it on. But if you just, like I said, if you want more pigment, you can just go directly from the product and kind of tap it on to your lid. Like that. Okay, so Leslie did work in product development at Neutrogena and Max Factor, and she became the CEO of Bare Essentials in 1994. So let's see, I'm just going to even that out. So I like a lot of pigmentation, so I like to, on the kind of the lighter colors, more base, I do the swirl, but on this one, if I want more, I just tap it on. And then Bare Essentials at that time was a bath and body retailer in Northern California. And at that time, if you think back to 1994, it was very unusual to have a mineral powdered base makeup line. And so she really didn't get it to take off and kind of get the popularity that it does have nowadays. See, I just think that gives like a nice look. It's not too overdone. The thing I really like about them is that you can play so much with the pigmentation based on how you apply it and what brush you're using. Okay, so then we're gonna go, I'm using Blue Black, and I'm gonna use this for an eyeliner. And so there is some in the lid. So this one is a little bit harder to kind of swirl. So I'm just doing a little bit in the lid right there and putting it on an eyeliner brush. And when she realized that the shades didn't match real complexions, she decided to relaunch the line as Bare Minerals. And in 1997 is when it really took off, when she got a slot on QVC, and she sold all of her inventory in that first slot, and it was $45,000 worth of inventory. And eventually it became so popular on QVC that she was selling $1.4 million an hour in product. I mean, that just is insane when you think about an hour, $1.4 million. I feel like people kind of back in the day used to kind of poo-hoo home shopping networks, but man, they can really make a brand. And so I'm just kind of patting this on, and I think that it makes a really nice eyeliner. And I'll put it on the lower lash line. And in 2006, the company did go public. And like I said, now it is owned by Shiseido. And even though she doesn't own it anymore, she is still heavily involved. And she kind of went back to her roots, I guess you could say, because she's involved in the product development of the brand. And so kind of getting back to the whole clean beauty, there's this app that is called Think Dirty, kind of a funny name, but you can type that in and I'll insert a screenshot of it for a couple of the Bare Mineral brands. And you can type in what the brand is or what the actual item is that you're looking at. And not everything is on there yet, but you can type it in and it'll tell you on a scale how clean the company is. So I think it's a really cool thing because most of the Bare Minerals are at a level of 3, but it'll tell you, as you can see in these screenshots, what the ranking is and what are the products that are making it, if whether it's clean or, you know, dirty. So I think that's a great app, and hopefully they will continue to keep adding more products on there. They do have the app, and you can go to a website on the desktop. So if you don't want to, you know, download an app, you can use it that way as well. Okay, let's just kind of smudge this out. Take some of the Mineral Veil, and I'm going to put that in the cap and do the swirl tap motion just to kind of buff everything out. And there is quite a few different colors, and the thing that I like about the products are a lot of them you can use multi-ways. Okay, so there we have that. They do have Bisque, which it says it's a multitasking mineral, and so this is supposed to be where you can use this as a concealer. So I have a concealer brush here, so we're going to tap that. So the question of the day is, have you used mineral makeup? And if you have, or if you haven't, but just in general, what is your thought about mineral makeup? My mom and my sister have used Bare Minerals for a long time. They were using it when it was still Bare Essentials. And I always thought that I wasn't real like in love with it. And I think the reason is because of the pigmentation. I felt like I didn't get enough pigmentation. But I feel like now that I've kind of played around more with like brush style and application, I actually really like it. So I think that it, you know, I wouldn't say a learning curve, but there is a little bit more to it because you can play around so much with the results that you'll get when you apply it. Okay, so as far as foundation or concealer for this, I don't know if I'd really say it covers up the dark circles. So if you have dark circles, it's probably not gonna do too much for you. But like I have a little bit of redness around my nose area. I think that you can see it's is taking that away. And I get redness above my upper lip. So we'll just kind of even that out. So I think for covering up redness, it does the job. And it's a little bit on the dark circles, but not a huge amount. But they do now have an actual concealer, which I did swatch at the store, so that will be at the end here. So the shadows here, like that are in the loose, these are $12 on their site. And I did notice that on their website, they have more color selections than on the Ulta website. And then there is shimmer colors, and those are $15. The liner shadows, which they didn't have this exact color, blue black, but those are $15. The foundation stick on one side and the mineral foundation on the other side. The foundation stick is $32. The mineral is $31, and they now have a liquid as well that's $34. And I wasn't sure when I saw that they have the stick formula and a liquid if it would still be considered a kind of clean, but when I looked on the Think Dirty website, it is still considered clean. It's not as clean as the mineral, but I'll insert a screenshot of that. Okay, so I will say that with the stick, I would recommend applying moisturizer before you're getting ready to do your makeup. And the color that I have is Opal 01. And it is pretty lightweight. They do have 20 shades available. And so we'll just put it on this side of the face. And it goes on really easy. I did find that I liked blending it out with a beauty blender better than the hand. I just felt like it glided more on the skin. And I think that this is a really great lightweight foundation. It gives you an overall finished look, but it's not a heavy feel. So I really like it. I don't wear foundation every day. So for me personally, I don't want a heavy coverage or a full coverage foundation. And so I think that this is a great option for that. And yeah, and you don't need a huge amount on. And it just blends in really easy. It doesn't take a lot of work. And as long as a couple times when I didn't apply, like when I applied moisturizer in the morning and it was a couple hours later that I was doing my makeup, I felt like it was a little bit drying, like on my skin, but my skin does get dry. So I feel like if you put on moisturizer, like I said, a little bit beforehand, you'll get a better outcome. The powder, they come in 30 colors, so there's more colors. And I feel like this, it does take a little bit of adjustment. If you've never used a powdered foundation, at first I kind of felt like, okay, am I really getting coverage? Is it putting anything on? But again, it just gives a nice natural finish. So I think it's just a different mindset, but I personally really like it. I think that I still am not going to wear foundation every day, but I'm really happy as far as the foundations that I've tried. I really like these two products. So again, you just put a little bit in the lid and swirl it in the brush until it is all into the brush and you can't see it anymore. And then you tap, and then you're gonna buff it on. And it doesn't even feel like you're putting anything on. It is even lighter than some powders that I have felt on as far as the feeling. And so the first few times I used it, I was like, okay, is it doing anything? But I feel like it does. I do feel like you're gonna get more coverage with the foundation stick. I'll kind of zoom in here so you can see the difference. So this side has the foundation, mineral foundation, and this side has the stick. And then let's try, just to kind of see, if you put the mineral foundation in here and apply it with a sponge. You can also do that. And it doesn't give you a huge amount of difference, but there's a little bit. Let's see. It just gives a slightly more coverage with the Beauty Blender. Like right here, it covers the redness a little bit more. But I really like it. But yeah, it's just a different mindset. So the mineral you cannot feel at all on. In the stick, you can barely feel it on. The foundations are rated a 7 on Think Dirty, but the face colors are a 3. So they're even better. Okay, so then they do have some face powders that can be used as blush, highlighter, and bronzer. So they have Warmth that can be used as a bronzer. I will swatch that at the end, but I'm going to go in with Beauty, and this is for a blush. And again, all of the minerals, it has the same philosophy. You tap it, you swirl it, and then you buff it on. And let's see. So the Warmth color is $22. This Beauty is also $22. And it's just a very light, I feel like these just give just a nice glow. And it's just very easy. You just put a little bit in the lid, tap it, swirl it, tap it off, and then if you need more, you just repeat the process. So yeah, just nice glow. And then there's a Clear Radiance, and this is $18, and it's a little bit more of, there's a shimmer to it. The hard thing is you can't really hold these up because they'll go everywhere. And so I'm going to use this as a highlighter. Swirl, 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 swirl. Tap. And just a little bit here. And it's not going to be a blinding in your face, but I feel like it, like all the other products, it just gives a nice little glow there. Just a little added shimmer. There is, where was it? The Mineral Veil. That's what I used on my eyelid overall, but it is a nice overall, just kind of even everything out. Just if you think of it as kind of like the translucent powder. And again, that's called the Mineral Veil. And just kind of overall, all around the face. Just buff it in. And I am going to be looking more at talking more about clean brands on my channel. So this isn't going to be a one-time only video. I'll be highlighting different ones. I'm not sure how often because I'm still researching what brands are considered clean. So we'll see. Okay, then I have 2 lip pencils, and they don't actually sell these exact lip pencils anymore because the other one, now that it seems like you have to sharpen them, but I'm going to use Sienna to line my lips. And I just realized I didn't put on mascara. Let's go ahead and do that. And unfortunately, I don't have a Bare Minerals mascara. And so I'm just going to use Lash Paradise. Going to cheat a little bit there. But mascaras go bad so fast that I don't like to go out and buy many because I just feel like it'll go to waste. So I already have a couple that I'm waiting to open because I want to use up the ones that I have. So I didn't want to actually go out and just buy a new one when I have these other ones to use up. So So back to the lips. So then I'm going to take Beauty, which is the color that I used for my cheeks. And I'm going to put a little bit on the lid. And I'm just going to use my finger to apply to my lips. And I've used these before without the lip liner underneath. And it's nice because it gives you just kind of a nude look. The only thing that's a little bit different to get used to if you use the mineral shadows as lipstick is there's no slip, you know, kind of when you put on lipstick and then you go, there's no slip to it. So, but it didn't feel drying, surprisingly. I thought it would feel drying, but it didn't. And it gave a nice natural look and there was no transfer. So here is my overall look with Bare Minerals. I'd love to know what you think down below. I really enjoyed learning more about the brand and exploring these because I didn't really use that much Bare Minerals. Like I said, it was more my mom and sister used it. But after trying these out and using them more, I actually am really happy with them. And I might be converted, I think, to the mineral foundation and the foundation stick for a little bit more coverage. I really, really like them. So let's get to swatching. So I'm going to start with the Mineral Veil. And again, these are going to be more pigmented, obviously, because I'm not doing the swirl motion and I'm applying them with my finger. And here's applying it with the brush, just to kind of give you a difference. So these are going to be more pigmented, but I think that it's good because then you can really see the color. And so this is the Bisque, and again, this is just kind of an overall. You can use it as eyeshadow or concealer. Then we will go to, this is the Warmth. This is the color that I said is kind of like a bronzer, but you could also use it for blush if you wanted more of the brown tone. And if you did browns, obviously, as your eyeshadow look. You just want to make sure that you close the lids tightly because otherwise it will get all over. Then we have Summer. And here is that. And that one has a shimmer to it. So you can see that. Then we'll go to, this is Java. And as you can probably guess, it's a brown. So that would be pretty as to use as an eyeliner as well. Then there is the True Gold, which I think this is such a pretty color. So pretty. I was having a little trouble deciding today if I wanted to go more the green or the grays or the browns, but I figured I usually do a lot of browns, so mix it up a little bit. Then we'll go on to Beauty. And so again, this is the color that I have on my cheeks and my lips with the lip liner. Clear Radiance is what I used for a highlighter. Now let's go into what I'm wearing today on my eyes. So this is Kindness. And if you could feel these, they're just so soft, as you would probably kind of expect from a mineral. And here is, that is Praise. And the last one we have here is Blue Black, and that is what I used as the eyeliner. And let's see, I will go ahead and swatch the foundation as well. So this is the Mineral Foundation. And this is the foundation stick. And I don't know if I said the color of the Mineral Foundation. The top one is fair. And then that's the stick. And again, there are the swatches. So I hope that this was helpful in learning about Bare Minerals and clean beauty. And I would really recommend, if you are interested in knowing about clean beauty, to either download the app Think Dirty or go to the website and just bookmark it, because I think that it's really handy. They have makeup and skincare, different products around the house that you're going to be using. So I think that it's a great website. And like I said, I don't know how often I'm going to be doing. I'd like to say once a month, but I don't know right now if there's enough brands to actually do this once a month, but I am looking into it. The next brand that I will be focusing on that's clean is Pacifica. So I will go ahead and play some video from when I went to Ulta and was swatching the new products from Bare Minerals, and they seem nice as well. So let me know your thoughts down below. Thanks.